Hello, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Here we are on the fourth Sunday of Advent 2017, and also Christmas Eve. The two dates collided. All right, anyway, or the two events collided. Okie dokie. This morning we have two whiskeys. One, the famous Jack Daniel's number 7. This is the green label, maybe not so famous. Introduced a long time ago. I don't know when. I know the company was founded in 1866. Now, I went on the tour of the distillery back earlier this year, and they had old bottles. It's like a museum in there where they have a bottle collection back to the 1860s, and they had green labels way back, in the early 1900s. Even they didn't know how some of the bottles were. They would just say circa 1909. That means like around 1909. Versus a not so famous bourbon, 10 High, introduced in 1935. Tyler says, "Holy cow, I am awake. Looks like this is still going on." Well, not still going on, just started. Hi, my friend, says Thomas Lee. What time is it there? It's 6:13 a.m. Oh, wow. Yep, 6:13. I think I might sneeze. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to go to vigil, Christmas vigil tonight, Mass. I think at 4 o'clock I'll go. That way I don't have to wait till 9:30 in the morning tomorrow. So I went to the vigil for same time zone as me. I went to the vigil for the fourth Sunday of Advent last night, and it was interesting because it was in New Orleans, in a very, I would call it a hidden neighborhood almost, like a secret neighborhood, right? I'm looking at a map, and I had to go cross this highway, and then you had to cross the highway to the east and then go south on this old highway road called Woodland Highway, and then go down through this little side street and then back to this other little street. And it was called St. Joseph's Church. And I said, well, they don't say anything really about it on the Archdiocese website. They give a little scant information. So I said, I don't know what this is going to be like. But I thought it might be a Vietnamese-oriented church because of the name of the pastor. And so I went in there. Everybody was Vietnamese. And the whole Mass was in Vietnamese, in the Viet language. So I couldn't understand what they were saying. Now I could follow it because, we follow a liturgy. But I was like, what did I get myself into? So I felt so out of place. The only white person in the whole church. And they had the South Vietnam flag, Republic of Vietnam flag in there. So I said, well, it's obviously this church was established by refugees, people who escaped from South Vietnam. So the church is probably almost certainly not older than 42 years old. But it was an odd looking church, the way it was designed, and everything was strange about it. Everything. But it was exotic in a way. It's fun to take those little trips and see different things instead of just the same old usual thing, right? It's kind of like trying these different liquors and beers and wines out. You try different things, so it's like a little adventure each time. So yeah, I was trying to go to Mass at every church in the New Orleans area, right? New Orleans itself, and then around, the suburbs. So maybe the next one will be the one in Belle Chase, because Belle Chase, Belle Chase borders New Orleans. So I would, it's in the area. All right, well, enough of that. There was a few words there I understood. Maria, Israel, and Amen. In Vietnam, they said something about Vietnam. I guess they were praying for Vietnam. Everything else, I didn't understand. All right. Ding, 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 time to start. So, will I be able to tell them apart? Yes. Will one be better than the other? I don't know about that, because yesterday was Jack Daniel's old number 7, the black label, against 10 High, and I could tell them apart. but I couldn't honestly say that one was really better than the other. So that meant that 10 High wins by default, right? Because 10 High is about $10 a bottle and Jack Daniels is about $23 a bottle. So Jeff Vanter, hello, thanks for watching. You should do a review of Maker's Mark. I get that request so often, and I will do it. I plan to do it, but I have such a backstock of stuff that you would not believe it. Well, you might believe it. You just might be disgusted. You might shake your head and say, this is sad. I'm a huge IPA fan, but recently started getting into bourbons. That's sort of a trap, because then you get interested in it, then you get caught up in it. See, and excuse me. Not sick, just daily sinus. You know, well, I told you before, we have a lot of humidity down here and mold, and everybody's always sick. Well, you know, like chronically sinus problems. But now everybody's sick with the flu and colds, and I've been trying to stay away from it. I haven't gotten sick, and I've been taking vitamin C every day. So I'm thank God I haven't gotten sick. I've been so glad. Tyler says, and Tyler might join us for the ancient age, not ancient age, what am I saying? The Seagram's VO Gold. I think you looked it up and he found where you can get it. And then I noticed that Winn-Dixie has the VO Gold on sale, even though it's still $1 more than Mathern's, who also has it on sale. So I bought it at Mathern's. They must have a massive backstock of VO Gold because everybody's selling it still. But the company told me, I got an email, Seagram's VO, dear Ronald, you know, we regret to tell you that Seagram's VO has been discontinued, and this company has no plans to bring it back, something along those lines. I knew something was going on because it wasn't on their website. You know, they show all their other liquors, but no VO Gold. So right then I thought something's up, and I was right. Same thing with Jim Beam Choice. I knew something was wrong, and I contacted the company. Yes, it's been discontinued. So Jeff Vanter says, caught up how? So I mean, caught up like you get interested in it, and then you just be doing like me, buying this, buying that, trying this, trying that, buying this, buying that, trying this, trying that. You know what I mean? And then you just can't. And then you say, well, let me try Canadian whiskey, and let me try Scotch. You see, so then it becomes like that sort of mania, which obviously happened with beer, as you can tell by this channel, and wine also. But people said, why'd you start doing wine? I said, you mean back in 2011? I started doing wine reviews 6 years ago, early on in this channel. So that was not new. And I think it was in 2013 I did whiskey. So it's not exactly something new. Okay. I've been trying everything. Laugh out loud, so true. Kind of expensive. Just a quick question, says Thomas Lee. Have you tried Henry McKenna 10-year age? I've never tried any Henry McKenna. No. If you had $1 for every whiskey I have tried, you wouldn't have much money. If you had $1 for every whiskey I have not tried, you'd be wealthy, very wealthy. It can be expensive. But like Paul says, and he tried to call me last night twice, and I didn't get his calls. I don't know what that's about. He might be in town here. I got to check. He's the guy that used to do the hangouts, but the kids kept banging on the door and climbing all over him, so he got discouraged from doing those. I can't blame him. He used to always say, when we talked about beer all the time, we still do on the phone, and he would say, beer's not really that good of a value when you think about it. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, think about it. You're paying $7, $8 for these bombers of specialty beer. And then you got to drink it all that day, he said. Maybe you pay $12. You got to drink. I mean, it's not like it's going to hold. It's going to keep. He said, but you could buy a bottle of liquor, gin, rum, whiskey, right? Brandy. He said, and you could sip on that for weeks, you know. So, I mean, he said, you get a much better payoff. And he had me thinking, I'm sort of thinking, yeah. So yeah, it can be expensive, but the backside of it, you know, at the back end of the equation, the payoff's probably much better. Well, anyway, all right. So, and I figured I'd start low and go high. I did the same thing with beer, more or less. You know, I'll start with the low-priced whiskeys and brandies, and then go up, low to high. And then once you get to the really expensive stuff, then you can realize if it's really a great product or if it's not really, right? Because you tasted all the cheap stuff. And if you're paying 3-4 times the amount and the stuff you just paid so much money for isn't that much better, then you start to wonder, oh, wait, somebody's getting scammed. And we've run across that in craft beer, haven't we not? Have we not? Many of these things you try and you say, oh boy. And then you think, wait a minute, I just paid $3.50 for this can and it's not that much better than Miller High Life. So someone just got, you know, gypped. Okay. All right. Now, all right. Okay. Focus. Bring it in. Okay. Jack Daniels. This was $25, but it is a liter. It's not a 750 milliliter. It is 1,000 milliliters. And I want to thank Sandra and Donna for buying this for me. Those two sisters bought this for me in Beaumont, Texas. I told them, just buy me a bottle. I don't care what size it is, and I'll pay you back. So they bought the liter. They said, don't pay us back. It's a gift. Well, hey, it was right around my birthday, so hey. And it's been the gift that keeps on giving, because look, I got this in what, March, April, and I still got 55% of the bottle left. If it was a beer, I'd drink it one day. Nah, you say, oh, there he goes. We knew it was coming. He's going to start slamming beer. No, not slamming beer. I'm just putting it in perspective. I drink beer every day. But I don't save it in a cabinet. I don't slam shrimp, right? I'm not slamming shrimp, but I wouldn't save it. You buy it, you got to eat it. You can't say, well, I'm going to just keep it, right? So, I mean, you have to use some intelligence. Saw someone with a 30-pack of Ham Special Light at the liquor store. Didn't know people actually drank that. Oh, yes. I don't, because I can't get it. But, I mean, I wouldn't buy it anyway. I'm not a light beer drinker, but I would buy it to try it, you know. I've seen it before on road trips, and I said, I'm not buying a whole 30-pack. That's all they had, 30 packs or 24 packs. 12-pack, I'd have done it. Higher, no. Okay. Okay. So that's the thing with the liquor, right? I keep seeing, like I say, that's it. I'm not buying anymore. Over. It's over. And then I go and I see something for so cheap. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'll just buy one, you know. And then pretty soon you got this huge stash. Oh, well, you could tell this is 10 high because it's cloudy and it's got sediment in it. You can tell this is Jack Daniels because it's clear as a bell and it has no sediment. They're both golden amber. I don't know what the deal is with that sediment. I checked other 10 high bottles. They didn't have sediment. Oh, and Ancient Age Preferred has been showing up everywhere. All of a sudden, everybody's got it. Can't explain it. Of course, Sazerac is located in New Orleans. Their headquarters in Metairie, which is a suburb of New Orleans. And, you know, it's like Yonkers to New York. You know, it borders the city of New Orleans, and the Gold Ring family, you know, they own it. So Sazerac might have said, let's push Ancient Age hard in New Orleans, because they already pushed Taka. I mean, Taka is like everywhere here. Okay, got it in here in Tennessee. Oh, the Ham Special Light. It could show up here because Ham's was never sold in Louisiana, and now it's here. I wouldn't say it's exactly selling, but it's here. People looking at it as some kind of oddball item. They don't know it's a Miller Coors product, and they're not going to research it, right? Your average consumers are not going to get on the internet and say, oh, I wonder what the history of Hams is. Won't happen. Ain't going to happen. Isn't going to happen. And people around here, they don't buy oddball stuff too much. They just Don't. Oh, you mean ancient age? Oh, okay. I got a 12-pack of Pilsner Urquell for $12 yesterday. That is very low. That is extremely cheap, and I would have immediately bought it. I bought a 4-pack of Boddington's Pub Ale yesterday for $7.99. You know, $2 a can ain't exactly a great price. I bought it at World Market, but some guys wanted to do a hangout. You know, I added you to Beer Talk, Tyler. You saw that. And they wanted to do an examination of English beers Wednesday night on Eric's channel. So I said, okay. And I figured, oh, Boddington's, hadn't had that in a while. It was a much better value than the Samuel Smiths. I didn't say it was a better beer. I said it was a better value because those were almost the same price for one bottle. I drank too much Ancient Age and sent Jay a song last night. Sorry, I'll cut out the other talk and stick to beer. Yeah, I didn't know what that song was about. I listened to it. Yeah, I never encourage anyone to send me unsolicited videos for me to listen to. I discourage that in the strongest terms. I have Rock and Roll Club, and if people post music on Rock and Roll Club, I listen to it. I listen to any song that's posted on there right now. I've listened to it. Hundreds and hundreds of songs. I've listened to them. Hadn't liked them all, but I've listened to them. Now, some people, you know how they are. They'll post every day. They posting, and I told them 2 songs a day. That's it. Because some people are out of hand. They'll post 20 songs. And one guy who was in the club, I woke up one morning, he had like 20 songs posted. You know who he is. He does videos. I won't say his name because then he'll say I'm talking about him. I'm not talking bad about him. I'm just telling you what happened. And then, howdy do, buckaroos. But he says, I said, hey, really in this club, we do 2 songs a day because that way it gives every member a chance to listen to each other's songs. There's no point just posting songs. You could just look at YouTube for that matter, right? I said we do 2 songs a day, and then everybody can listen to everybody else's posts, and then it's fair, you see. Oh, well, you know, no response. He just immediately quit the club. I said, now that's the grown-up way to do it now. That's the man way. Sarcastically, I said that. So I didn't have time for that baby cry, so I just deleted everything he ever posted in the group. Just pretended he never existed there because I don't have time to play baby cry games, okay? Same thing with the alcohol legs group. You want to post sensible things? People post sensible things. Here's what I thought about the beer. Here's what I thought about the wine. Here's what I thought about the liquor. Good. We're interested. We talk about it. Great. But you know, you get these troublemakers. They want to join, and I know what's coming, and they want to start going after everybody's stuff. I wouldn't drink that garbage. And I try to tell them, look, you could go join some other groups and rip on people's stuff if you'd like. I'm trying to encourage them to maybe, you know, get lost. Well, they had one guy that was trying to flame everybody's posts, but everybody just ignored him. Basically, everybody ignored him for like 2 or 3 days, and he finally quit. And I was glad. I just deleted all his content. I was in a Rock and Roll Club, thought I was still there. I just looked it up. I sent another request. Oh, I didn't know you quit. I'm sorry you quit. When I was living in Gainesville, Florida, I bought Tom Sims bourbon from ABC Liquors when going cheap. Ever see it? No, I've never heard of Tom Sims bourbon. Carol says, hi, Jay, greetings from Europe, where I live. Now it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and I'm making the last preparations for Christmas Eve. That's good. As soon as that Saints game's over today, I'm going to be shaving, you know what I mean? And then I'm going to get my hair kind of fixed as much as I can. My hair is always wild, but at least I got hair, right? 49 years old, I got a full head of hair. And I know a lot of people can't say that. So I'm not complaining, but my hair keeps changing color. Like every day it gets a little more gray. Okay, so, and then I'm going to go to 4 o'clock vigil. It's going to be so crowded in there. Probably have to stand up the whole mass, but that's all right. All right, okay. Let me adjust this heater a little bitty bit. All right. I think, no, I'm not going to make any. I think I'll be able to tell them apart, and I think it'll be a tie, but we'll find out right now. Okay, the smell. Yeah, so the alcohol legs, if you want to be cool and talk about each other's products and be nice, you know, we didn't say you had to agree. No one has to get on there and say, oh, that's not required. We're just saying just, you know, don't be an ass, you know, excuse me. You know what I mean? Do they still make Jack Daniel's #7 green label? Oh yeah, I got it right there. But don't look for any website information. That's basically non-existent. And we had a little problem in the Rock and Roll Club with a few people, you know what I mean? Troublemakers. They want to bomb, what you say, talk bad about other people's music posts. You know, they gotta let you know they hate your band. I hate that stinking band. They're garbage. It's like, why do you gotta say that? But if you insulted them, oh, they would get furious. You see, you know people like that. They can tease you all day and do the put down routine, and it's funny, and I'm just kidding. Do it to them, and they want to fight. I knew somebody like that. I was like, oh, okay. You can do it, and it's okay. But if somebody else does it, you get mad. To me, that's like a self-esteem thing, some kind of mental thing with these people. You know, I don't understand that. They can do it, but you had better not do it. Okay. The one on my left, maybe you're right, is much smokier. I keep saying smoky, but that's wrong. I'm not drinking rock beer. It's char, more char, okay? Yeah, wood, char. I already think it's Jack Daniel's because that has more of that in the aroma. But now remember, the Tin High only has that in the taste, not so much in the aroma. This is more of the sourdough bread. Now, they're both sour mash whiskeys. They're both 40% alcohol. Tin High is aged 3 years. The Jack Daniel's is at least 4 years. The only difference with these really is the age. And the Jack Daniel's is charcoal filtered before it goes in the barrel, which is supposed to make it better. I don't notice that it makes a difference really. Now, Jim Beam said, oh, well, we do it after the barrel. It makes it better. If it comes out, if we put it through the charcoal filtering after the barrel. So they do like the reverse Tennessee, what they call it, Lincoln County process. But the consumers were indifferent to it, so they canceled that this year, the charcoal filter Jim Beam, aged 5 years. They even make charcoal filtered beer, like in a bizarre manner. The Schlitz Gold Bull, the VSL, the Schlitz Gold Bull, of all things, is charcoal filtered. It's like they do in Tennessee, the Lincoln County process with beer. They're dripping it through charcoal column, and they want you to know that. Like Old English used to be, charcoal filtered. Did seem better though back then. I don't know. It must be expensive to do it. But you would find it. Don't you find it strange that Pabst does that with VSL? But yet nothing else. Nothing else apparently. Okay, taste. Well, okay. This is like drinking cornbread. Sweet whole kernel corn. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? This is why some people cannot stand bourbon. And there are people that hate bourbon, okay? I know it's the cool thing to drink, you know, and everybody's got to get out there and be on the internet signaling how cool they are, you know, because that's important, right? But a lot of people just hate bourbon because it tastes like the wood and the charcoal and the corn, and they just say, ugh. It doesn't bother me. But I can also appreciate the blended whiskeys, and I can also appreciate the Scotch because they're different. And, you know, you get people make definitive statements. Well, everybody knows bourbon's better. Everybody does know that. How does everybody know that? You know, how does everybody know that your opinion is correct? I mean, where does this come from? Okay. Do they still, okay, tasted better and good eating. Yeah, it is good. Okay, taste. No. Okay. All right. Stop. This one has a more charcoal, all right, wood profile in the taste. Okay, I said taste twice in one sentence because I was just at the office of redundancy office. All right. It's sweet, but it don't taste like cornbread. I know I use bad English sometimes. This is smooth. This is mellow. This is copacetic. If this was a music group, this would be Pablo Cruz, you see over here. You know, love will find a way. Now over here, this would be more like AC/DC, you know. Now the wood, now the char is coming into play. Now the wood, now the char. Okay. But when I got hit with that full maximum overdrive, I'm going to scare the hell out of you. You know, this maximum overdrive corn bread, corn offensive, like somebody launching an offensive against your taste buds. That made me think that must be the Jack Daniel's Green Label. Now, the funny thing about Jack Daniel's Green Label, if you put it up against the dark label, the black label, the old number 7, you'll find that the number 7 is milder. I think it's milder, smoother. Didn't say better, say milder, smoother. That's why they call numbers, they have the number 7 and the old number 7. But it's not necessarily older. Because if you take a tour, if you look at their website carefully, it isn't. It might be younger. You see what I mean? It might be younger. But the main thing with the number 7, the Green Label, is that it's in a different part of the barrel house. It's the same recipe. Same recipe, same process, same liquor, but not in the same part of the barrel house. And they said that the barrel house changes everything because the number 7 doesn't get the proper heat. The good Jack Daniels, you know, the ones that they sell, the single barrel and the that kind of stuff, whatever they call it, that is coming from the top of the barrel house, where it's in the heat all summer long, summer after summer. And they said the heat is what it needs to cure it. The Green Label is down in the middle of the barrel house, and the lower floor is in the middle, where it's cooler all the time. Even in the summer, it might not be properly hot. You need to go in the middle, and it's maybe a little cooler. And you can smell that whiskey dripping. Like sometimes those barrels will leak, and you go in there and you can smell it. It smells like old whiskey. Now, it's a nice smell, the wood and the whiskey. You go in that barrel house, it'd be a cool place to work. Wouldn't you think? Go around smelling that all the time. And then down on the other side of the property, they're burning the wood to make the charcoal, and you can smell the wood burning. And it's really a nice thing. You know, it'd be a cool place to work. Oh, I think that's got to be Jack Daniels. Keith Richards would be so pleased, but he wouldn't want the Green Label. You'd want the Black Label. All right. And the Gentleman Jack, you know what that is. It's the same as Jack Daniels. All they do is filter it twice, but you pay more because you think it's better. And the guy on the tour said, it'd be like taking a tea bag and using it twice. And then you serve people the second running of the tea. But then somehow you would charge more for the second running of the tea, and they think it's better. When it's just watered down. But that's why they invented Gentleman Jack as a watered down Jack Daniels for people that thought Jack Daniels was too harsh. And a lot of people think Jack Daniels is too harsh and embrace it. But the guy corrected us all in the tour. Stop! He basically said, it's not harsh. We don't use that term. We say it's bold. I said, okay, it's bold. They use euphemisms, you know. They don't blend Jack Daniels. Who ever heard of blending it? Are you insane? The man said, you put stuff in a blender. If you want to blend, you blend things in a blender. He said, we don't blend our whiskey, we mingle it. I said, oh, you mingle it. Ah, gotcha. What does mingle mean? Oh, we just mix it together. Oh, you don't blend it. Okay. Dylan says, hello, Ron. Good morning. Hello to you, Dylan. All right, so I think this is 10 high. Milder. You could say duller if you wanted to use that term, but that would depend on the drinker. A more bulk taste. You know what I mean? Like, because you have a lot of this filler whiskey in it. Corn. Oh, what do they call it? Grain neutral spirits. In England or Ireland or Scotland, they would probably refer to it as grain whiskey. It's the same thing. It's just corn that's distilled to a clear liquid bulk product. Basically Everclear. Okay, you know, you can buy your own grain neutral spirits if you go to you can go to Walmart and buy Everclear and make your own liquor. Sure can. And some people are so stupid or immature or childish, they'll drink Everclear. You hear these teenagers dying, you know. So they're drinking Everclear, and it's telling you basically on the website, this is not made to drink. It's not you don't drink this, okay? Okay, I mean, they're telling you on the website, it's not made to drink. It's made to make your, it's a base that you buy to make your own stuff. Right? It's like buying Baker's chocolate to eat. You don't eat Baker's chocolate. I mean, you could. It's a base. You use it to bake. Everclear is made, and what's the other one? Diablo or something that Sazerac makes. It's a base. Enough rant and rave with Ronald. But I mean, if you buy it, the Everclear is basically, what does it have, like a skull and crossbones on it or something like that? It's telling you, warning, don't drink this. I tasted some of that distillate at Barton Distillery. It burned my lips. It was just, oh, it was good. It's pure corn whiskey distilled to 100% alcohol, basically 99, you know, like 200 proof, basically. What, 190 proof? And extremely flammable. So the woman said if a spark erupted here, it would just blow the place apart, including us. Blow it apart. So you get that grain whiskey, that grain neutral spirits, that distillate, what they call it. You got to be careful. It's volatile. It'll just blow up. Yeah, 10 high. Forgot to do the. Wait a minute. I got it mixed up. All right, I think I had it right, but I got to check myself here. Let me check. Sorry about that. Got so interested talking about distillate. Just a little fraction of an ounce. Believe me, the taste isn't going to change in a minute. Oh, which one was better? You know, there's a tie. So, your money. You want to pay $24 for something that's equally enjoyable as something that's $10 is your business. Doesn't matter to me. I wouldn't do it, but okay, so 10 high. Okay. I mean, there's no. Cornbread, baby. Okay, so there's no. You can call this in seconds. In seconds, you call it. Do they taste similar? No, not really. I got to tell you, I'm not loving that cornbread. I'm not really loving that cornbread approach. I'm not loving it. I don't hate it, but I'm not loving it. Yeah, cornbread. What is it? Cornbread. Well, I live in St. John the Baptist Parish in southeastern Louisiana, and people around here say cone bread, like C-O-N-E, cone bread. Say, go pick up some cone bread, because we're going by your auntie house. Pick up some cone bread, because we're going by your auntie house. Tell him Churn come inside, eat cornbread before it gets cold. Tell him Churn get in this house. Get in this house, eat that cornbread. 10 High is a hidden gem. Oh, there's no doubt. It's just nice. This is really going to get me in trouble because people are saying you're stupid because 10 High is $10 a bottle and you're saying it's better than Jack Daniel's Green Label. It is, because it's just smoother. It's nicer. It's like a delightful little, it's delicate. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like a delicate little product, like a little flower petal, you know, like, so it's got a lot of little dried flower petals. I'm going to take another sip. It's so delicate, you know, it's almost like it isn't bourbon. I mean, it is legally, but it's like it kind of isn't because it's so delicate. And then Jack Daniel's, it's comical because they say it's not a bourbon, but legally, actually, it is a bourbon. It legally is a bourbon. I did a whole video on that. And it's full bore bourbon. It's just like, and I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I like it. All right. But it's sort of like everything your average bourbon drinker would like. And at the same time, it's everything that bourbon haters would hate. You know what I mean? So this product, and I would highly recommend it if you've never gotten it. It's a very divisive, let's call it, product, the Jack Daniel's Green Label. It would be divisive, you know, because you probably wouldn't have too many people saying, yeah, I can take it or leave it. You know what I mean? They would either take it and they'd love it, or they would despise it. You know what I mean? Jack Daniel's is sort of like the Budweiser of the beer world. You know, you don't have too many people like myself who just say, nah, it's all right. You got either people that just love Budweiser. I know people that that's all they drink. Like literally, that's all they drink, and that's all they've ever drunk is Budweiser. And they're never going to deviate. And then you got some people that just would rather die. They'd rather be drug across tacks and have their hair set on fire and be beaten with hammers than drink Budweiser. Oh, that's what they'll claim. So it's a divisive product. And the same thing with Jack Daniel's. You look at these liquor review websites, and you've got people that just flip out. If you say Jack Daniel's, they just literally, I mean, if you said 10 High, they might laugh. Ah, it's cheap stuff. You ever had it? Oh, no, I wouldn't try it. Well, how do you know it's bad? Well, I know it's bad. Okay. But then Jack Daniel's, they're not indifferent. They get it wound up. I read these, you know, reviews, and it's comical, you know, because they'll do the same thing with Budweiser. They talk about airplane glue, and it tastes like brick mortar and poison. It tastes like rat poison, you know, all this stuff. And same thing with Budweiser. It tastes like horse urine, and it tastes like stomach acid. And then, like William Kepley said, he said, you read these comments these descriptions, and you know the people have no credibility. There's no way. They're trying to, like William says, though, they're trying to get a cheap laugh is what they're trying to do. They're trying to be with the in crowd, like, so everybody will thumbs up, say, yeah, right, right, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more, stinking Budweiser, ha, 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 murmur, murmur, you know, and they want to be part of that little clique, you know, so William's always right about that. Natural ice babies. Oh, going to get some. Don't ask Michael if he likes Budweiser. If he likes Budweiser. Natural ice babies. Oh, yeah, I could get on. You think I'm doing a rant and rave now? I could get on natural ice and talk about that stream of consciousness for an hour, right? Carol says, how is William? Haven't seen him in videos lately. He's fine. He's actually, he did a video with us about 2 weeks ago. He told me he's fine. He got sick. Heart problems, you know, so. But he's better, and he said he wants to join us again, you know, so he wasn't forgetting about us. He had some internet problems too, and some kind of other issues with some things, but he's fine, you know. William E. Kepley is how he's listed now. He's good. He's good. Okay, so that's it for this. It's funny, but actually this video turned out almost exactly the way I predicted. You say you mean long and rambling? Oh, I mean, that's just my personality. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I might be a lot of things, but succinct ain't one of them. But what I mean is I thought I would tell them apart exactly the way I did. And like they would present exactly what I thought they would present. And they did. So when you drink more of these, and I'm not saying you should, but when you keep taste challenging, right? This little exercise, you really start to get familiar with the subtle differences, and they don't all taste the same. They don't all taste the same, and they're not all the same quality, and they're different. It's like the beer. There's little fine differences. And in this case, the differences aren't exactly fine. They're pretty pronounced. So 10 high wins on both counts. Value, it's a much better value in my booklet. Not to mention, it tastes, well, to me, it tastes better. It's just got a nicer taste. You know, it's like Jack Daniel's screaming in my ear. You know, they're screaming in my ear. And 10 high is just like whispering, being nice, you know. They're just being a little more mellow, calm. Okay. What's the next taste challenge? Well, now, let's see here. Please pass William best wishes for Christmas. I will do that if I see him. I don't know if I will. Well, okay, well, we're pretty much at the end of the bourbon taste challenges, although I did buy a bottle of Wild Turkey 81. Okay. But it's a small bottle, it's not gonna last. It's probably not even sensible to put it in a taste challenge. I might do it for a couple of them just for the heck of it. I did record a video for that. It was very nice, and it was unique. It was unique. But I found that the lighting was too dark. I thought, well, this camera is good. This camera can adjust. The camera will automatically adjust to the light. And it did. But it was still a little dark, and I didn't like, I mean, you know, if you're like me, you don't really watch the beer reviews anyway. You just listen to them. That's all I do. I mainly just listen to them like I'm listening to the radio. I don't need to look at somebody sit there, you know. Plus, I you know, I see what the beer looks like. I know what the beer looks like. So, but I might reshoot it because I made a mistake. I always make mistakes, but I said it was aged 4 to 6 years, but it's actually aged 6 to 8 years. I felt foolish saying that. So I don't know. We'll see. But the next taste challenges, I think we got a lot of blended whiskeys coming up, honestly. Hey, Jean, I hope you're having a good time over there in New Jersey. Hope your flight was nice. Hope you had a good airplane flight. Hope it wasn't too expensive. Hope you have a good trip. Jean, don't be telling me this. He had Hennessy last night. Hey, wait a minute, Jean. What did we talk about? Didn't you tell me that you don't deal with liquor due to past what do we say, past problematic situations, let's call it. So a reasonable price. Now that's a new one because, you know, Hennessy's almost never a reasonable price. You know what I mean? Hennessy's usually anything. It's like Jack Daniels. You're buying the name. You're buying a name more than the product. Tyler says, Merry Christmas, Jean. Just talking about the inflation of Hennessy. Hi, Jean. He says, but family was around. I know. I understand. Hey, but look, keep it in check. Keep things in check, Jean. Keep it in check. Jean's funny because he's always trying to introduce his family and friends into different beers, and he has the same experience I have. You know, I'm like, hey, why don't you try this Imperial IPA? And my family's looking at me like, are you stupid? We're drinking Bud Light, dummy. I'm like, right. What was I thinking? Why would anybody want to drink an Imperial IPA when they could drink Bud Light? What I mean, I'm so silly. Why would I want to introduce you to that? Jean-Pierre says, I took it easy. Good, good. I mean, the flight was reasonable. Oh, you mean, oh, I got you. The airplane flight was reasonable. Hennessy, never reasonable. No. It's always up-priced, you know, like Budweiser, Jack Daniels, and Hennessy. They're all, you know, what you pay is never what equal to what you get, unless you just enjoy paying for a name. You might like paying for a name. Exactly, Jay. Okay, I got you. Merry Christmas, Jean, says Carol. All right, well, enough jibber jabber. This was not really much of a challenge, was it? No, it was not, because Jack Daniels tastes basically nothing like 10 High. I mean, literally, they're about as far apart in taste as any two whiskeys could ever be, I believe. Oh, well, such is life. Now, I will start to upload a beer video in a moment. Which one will I upload? Let me see real fast, people. Hold on. Hold on loosely. Don't let go. All right. Oh. Oh, yes. Well, get ready for a peanut butter. Now, this is something. A peanut butter coffee milk stout from Hammond, Louisiana. Awesome product. Peanut butter coffee milk stout. You like peanut butter, you like coffee, you like milk, you like stout, get ready. I'm going to upload that. So in the next 2 hours or so, you might be able to see it. All right. Been fun. Merry Christmas Eve. And / Merry fourth weekend of Advent. Merry Christmas, Jean. Okay. Thanks for the challenge, Jay. You're welcome, Tyler. And y'all join us again soon. Everyone take care now. I'll be watching the Saints and the Falcons. And Jean, you get to watch the Jets game. Ooh. And the Giants game. Ooh. Ow, wow.